everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another pick a card reading, and this reading is going to be about what don't you see about yourself that other people admire. So we're going to be taking a look at traits and qualities about yourself that you don't really notice. You might know about yourself, but you don't really know that it's like at the forefront of your personality that other people very much admire about you. So we're going to be looking at that, and we have 3 piles here today. We have pile number 1 with the Herb Crafter's Tarot with this little sticky little, well, it's not sticky, it's like a smushy little animal. I got it from a vending machine or like one of those like coin machines. And then we have deck number 2, which is the Tarot of the Divine, a deck that has a bunch of fairy tales in it from different cultures. And this is like a soda can, like an orange soda can, but I wish you can smell through the screen because it smells like oranges. It's really cool. And last, number 3, is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck with this little blue squishy. It looks like a reindeer. Little blue, little squishy. So those are the 3 piles. Let's take a deep breath. All right, let's get started on your reading. Hi, group number 1. Let's get started with your reading. We're using the Herb Crafter's deck. This deck is really has a really good guidebook in it, like with really well written descriptions of the cards, and it has really good information on numerology if you're interested in that. But let's get started with your reading. This is a reading on what you don't see that other people admire about you. Let's see. For group number 1, what don't they see that other people admire about them? What don't they see that other people admire about them? What don't they see that other people admire about them? 3 of Earth, Ace of Earth. You got the 3 of Earth and the Ace of Earth. Hija of Fire. Two more, please. Empress. And we have the Lovers. All right, give me a second to read this. I see some fellow tarot readers out there, a few of you. This is such a beautiful spread. I see a lot of reds. You guys are really connected to the earth. What I'm getting with this group is that you guys are very passionate and you use what you have. Like, people admire that you are very self-satisfied with your body. I'm getting that you're very self-satisfied with your body, and you are like not afraid to show, like, share with other people, like, that you love, you know? Like, what I'm saying is you're very comfortable with yourself, and in return people become very comfortable with you. You don't limit yourself to what people say you can and can't do. You're a rebel in a way. But you're a rebel in a way, but in a way where it's inspirational to other people. Like if there's a way of doing something that has been played out that people just keep doing because they think it's normal, you'll come in and you'll be the one to kind of change the situation. Like for example, like you come into a workplace and people have been doing the same thing over and over again, something that might cause a lot of problems and a lot of annoyances, or they've been dealing with a boss who treats them very bad, and you come in and you don't give a damn like who the boss is. Like you're not gonna let them treat you like anything. And if you see that happening to someone else, you'll be like, you know, you don't have to be treated that way. Like you're a rebel with a cause. Like you're not gonna let things limit you into a box. It just can't. Like people admire that you're like, you can't be caged. And you're also very creative. I'm getting that people admire that, admire your craft, even if they don't tell you about it. Like you can make, you're able to make things out of other things that people would not have been able to like create with those things. Like you see a lot of potential in like little things. And you just like carry around that wand. You like have like a metaphorical wand in your mind where you can just like pull it out and you can like problem solve on the fly. People admire that you're able to problem solve like effortlessly, and you kind of thrive on a little bit of anxiety. Like people admire that. Like if like in a workplace you're in a situation where like there's a bunch of like pressure on the group, people want you to be a part of the team, to be able to like, because you're able to like thrive on that pressure and like transmute that pressure. People really admire that about you. I'm getting with like your lover that they love how passionate you are. Like of course you guys have gotten into arguments and things like that, but they actually like, you make them feel alive. Some of you might have a partner that's like balances them out, that balances you out, and they can see that and they really love that about you. They love that you balance them out, that you give them a perspective that is like different from theirs, but also like very helpful. That's how your friends see you as well. Like Ace of Earth, Three of Earth. You're a really good like person to have in a group. Like if you don't already, like you're gonna have you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna want to be around you. Like you're like a great person to have a part of the team. Like people are always thinking of you because they admire the things that you can. You're just very creative. Group number one. People really admire how creative you are in all parts of your life. Either it be a craft or it be like a problem solving idea. Like people really admire how passionate and creative you are. Like the energy you bring into a situation. It just creates a very abundant, it creates like a very abundant environment. Like you bring the abundance. People admire that, how your personality is brings like the world more abundance. Like it's able to like change the world a little bit, and people really admire that about you. Like there's a lot of red. This is a lot of passion. This is a lot of like being like in tune with the earth satisfying your visceral needs in a way that's like good for like the environment, and just satisfying, like just not being afraid to like act on instinct sometimes. I do see a lot of fire in this reading. It doesn't have to be that, because I see a lot of earth anyway. So just like the essence of the fire element, you really have it. Like people, the number one thing people admire about you is that you're creative, and you might not think that you are, or you might think that you are, but you don't know that it's like at the forefront of your personality. Like your creativity is at the forefront of your personality. That's like the first thing people understand about you when they get to know you, is that you are extremely creative. From the way you think, the way you dress, how you manage your life, it's creative, it's abundant. You're very tapped into the earth, like very much earth and water energy. You might have earth or fire placements, whether that be sidereal or tropical. Very in tune with your visceral needs. Sacral chakra too. I'm seeing some orange in here. So like your sacral chakra is very much like it very much like guides you, and people really admire that about you. People admire that you're not afraid. You're not afraid. You don't have, you seem to have no fear. That's what I'm getting. People admire that you're creative and that you seem to have no fear around the way you live your life. People admire that because, as you know or might not know, fear is a big part of a lot of people's lives and keeps them stuck in their lives, and like brings on a lot of depression and anxiety. But when you come into people's lives, actually, like, you actually very much inspire them. Group number 1, you're very creative. You are very inspiring, and you're like you're like a star to a lot of people and that you come across. The people who meet you, they appreciate you a lot, even if they don't really tell you that. Group number 1, let's look at your oracle cards. So we have the animal. Let's move these up a little bit. Okay. So cricket. And we have Sappho. We have Judge, Chaos and Conflict. Give me a minute to read these cards. So I'm seeing that you guys are very naturally beautiful, very natural people in general. Whether that be with the products you use, the way you eat, how you carry yourself, or like how you dress, or how you do your hair, makeup. You're very natural, and people admire that. They can see that that's natural beauty right there. They appreciate that, and they inspire to be that way, and they admire that about you a lot when it comes to your looks. And I'm also seeing that you guys are not afraid to enjoy things. Like I said, you're very passionate, and oh, I'm getting a message that you have very, very beautiful eyes. Like, people really admire your eyes. I'm saying that you guys are naturally sexy. Like, you're naturally sexy. Your personality too, like, is what also makes you very sexy. Like, you have a very attractive, fiery, like warm personality. I'm getting the message that you're beautiful like a flower, which is very cute. Maybe that was channeled from someone you love. You're beautiful like a flower. It was Sappho. This is our author, Sappho. They wrote, this was like a really long time ago. I think like when Plato was alive and stuff like that. They wrote homoerotic like poetry, which was crazy because it was like such like an ancient time. And actually none of their stuff like remains. Like it was mysteriously like burned or something like that, but I think it's because like it wasn't accepted. But they made a lot of like lesbian and gay poetry, like erotic poetry. And what I'm saying is that with this message, some of you might be gay, but I'm also seeing that you act on desire, and people really admire that you're able to have a desire and you actually follow through with it. Like, people hold desires in their heart until they like die. Once you get in a desire, you just act on it. I'm actually seeing a lot of Aries energy. But this is like, you love feeling those emotions. Like you love feeling those emotions, like passion and yearning. Like your heart is too big for your body. Like, I'm hearing that you're someone's like love of their life. Like someone thinks you're the love of their life. That's a message I'm getting. That you're their beloved person. Yeah. With Judge here, I'm getting that you actually do have very good taste. People admire your taste, and they sometimes want to come to you to like check to see if they're like doing something right, or like whether it be like an art piece or like their outfit. They like want you to like see, like they want your advice on it. But you do have high standards, which is not bad at all. People admire that you have high standards. People know that they can't just like invite you to anything, or like just like bring you to any old place to eat. Like, they know you have high standards. Like, they respect it. Actually, they do admire it. You're also very like, with your high standards, you have high standards in like the environment as well. Like, you advocate for like fair rights for everyone. Like, you really are passionate about what's not right in society, what doesn't work in society, and what like is damaging. Like, you're actually very passionate about that. But you balance compassion and justice together. And you're actually like a great mediator too. People really admire that. People admire that you're able to bring like peace into a situation by putting the feelings on the table. Like, through a little chaos and conflict, like you're able to like bring people closer together, even if that meant like you and your person, or you and your friends. Like, they admire that you are confrontational, and you can like, you're not afraid of that. Like, some people are, but you're not afraid of that. And usually it turns out that you guys are closer than you thought you were. I'm hearing like, you value the chaos. Like, you do. You value the chaos before the order. Like, people very much underestimate chaos and think that it's a bad thing. But, you know, before the storm, after the storm comes a rainbow, or whatever saying that is. But you see more than one side, just one side. Like, You come into people's lives and you help them get rid of the things that's not working, that doesn't make sense. You're very understandable, actually. You know what's not right, but you can understand all sides. People really admire that about you because you understand people's deep desires. You understand people's shadows. Like, you've worked through your own shadows. Like, you understand shadows, and you can be actually very compassionate to the other side. Like, you're able to talk to many people and connect with many people in that way. But let me get the book so I can read the description to this card, because I think it's very fitting for this reading. Give me a second. Page 99. The animal, the beast, the wild one, the she-wolf. We are mammals. The hair on our chest and between our legs reminds us so. We try to deny our unrefined animalistic nature, yet through this archetype, we tap into our power and direction. Activating the animal within means reawakening our relationship to nature in the most broad and embodied sense. Drinking from waterfalls, roaring at the moon, opening eyes underwater, eating berries from the vine, the life force of our planet begs us to set down the devices, the constraints, and the social constructs, and remember the warm blood that pulses through our veins. The animal longs for breath, food, protection, and physicality. It wants soil under our nails and starlight in our skin. If this all sounds terribly unsophisticated to you, take note that it is said that when Buddha became enlightened, he roared like a great lion. Wow. Yeah, you guys are very much needed for the society. Like, what other people deem as like elite and like cool is like not important to you. You want to live your life like a human being, which is honestly, I believe we're here to be humans and live like a human. But you can also reach spirituality by getting more and more closer to your animalistic nature, your visceral nature, your want to go outside and touch grass, put your feet on the grass, you're without shoes. And I know we all have visions of like sitting under a waterfall. Like, you value those things and people admire that about you. You're like a vibe check, I'm hearing. But yeah, that's what I got for you. Group number 1. You are all so beautiful, and thank you so much for coming to my reading. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started. You chose the Tarot of the Divine, which is a tarot deck inspired by fairy tales from different cultures. And I really like this deck. It has like a different like published book by the same illustrator, or maybe the same author, but it has like, it doesn't have the same fairy tales as the deck, so you get even more if you purchase the other book. But I don't know why I just plugged them. But yeah, in case you were wondering if you really feel intrigued by this deck. But let's see what people admire about you. What are some things that people admire about? Let's try again. What are some things that people admire about group number 2 that they don't see about themselves? right, let's see. Queen of Swords, Page of Cups, Ten of Swords, Page of Wands, Nine of Coins. You guys are very confident people. Very confident people that will not be like messed with in a way where it's like you won't let outside forces determine how you feel in the inside. Because you have so much depth from the things you've been through. People admire that about you. You're a very strong person and very like, people just can't like help but to respect you. And you guys are very playful. I'm seeing that you all are very playful as well. And just very self-satisfied. People admire like your ability to like detach from a hurtful situation and still remain yourself. Like, I think people in your life have seen you go through things and they admire like the integrity you hold. You hold a lot of integrity with yourself. People admire your integrity and your dignity. You won't cross boundaries. You won't go too low. You're not vengeful or resentful. Like, people admire that about you. They admire that you are very protective of yourself. They admire your confidence, your radiance and your confidence. People also admire how passionate you are when you speak, the way you speak. I'm hearing people admire the way you speak. It's just so creative and emotion, and like brings out emotions of other people. Like you might be a very good speaker, even if you don't really like public speaking. Like the people you talk to, like your lover or your friends, like they admire the way you talk. Maybe they haven't told you that, but they like the way you talk. The way you write, they like it. People admire that about you. I'm also getting that your pet admires you a lot because you are not afraid to treat them like another being instead of just a pet. Your pet admires like your understanding of them. You're able to keep a smile through. All these people are smiling. But you weren't able to do that unless you protected yourself. You protect yourself. People admire that you protect your peace. They can tell. They can tell. That's why a lot of people are scared to approach you sometimes, because you're like the real, like you not to be played with. I'm hearing that people admire that you're so strong, but I know you're probably like, whatever, like I don't understand what that means, or like, what do you, like, you can be strong too, but like, no, a lot of people can't. Like, you do it like with no effort. Like, you're just strong and dignified and respectable, which allows you to be this like radiant person, self-satisfied person, abundant person. We got a lot of fruits here. We got bananas, we got watermelon. We do got a cup. People admire the way your food tastes and the way you cook. People admire that you're able to like take a recipe and like actually make it very delicious. Like they admire the way you cook, basically. People admire the way you put yourself together as well, the way you dress. I'm hearing there's some thrifters in this group, and you're able to find like really beautiful pieces from the thrift store. People admire that. People admire the way you put your clothes together. Like you'll take like 3 items and put it together in like the most unique way that no one could have done. Like people admire that about you. And also because you're so protected, because you went through things and you learn to like protect yourself in a more effortless way. You bring a lot of radiance to people's lives and get them out of like their rut, even if you don't even know that, just because of how you are. Like you can go through some pain and are able to see the hope outside of it. People admire that you're so hopeful, that you don't have to take life too seriously. People admire that you're just very effortless in the way you are, the way you dress, the way you think, the way you speak is just like an effortless way about you. Let's read your oracle cards. We have the Queen under the Queen of Swords. We have the Wings, New Life, and Networker. Give me a minute to read. I'm hearing a message that you mind your business. People admire that you mind your business. Like, to go into detail about that, like people admire that you don't judge them for the things that they do or have done or going through. Like you're not judgmental. You're like mostly just concerned about their happiness overall. Like you're concerned about your own happiness and your loved one's happiness. That's what you're concerned about. Like you're really not that judgmental. You're not one to like just insult people just because you don't understand them. Because again, like you're just worried about your own happiness. You're not worried about if someone else is like acting a certain way or dressing a certain way. Like if that's their happiness, that's their happiness. That's the way you think. Like just because it doesn't fit your standard doesn't mean it's not right. And I'm seeing that you guys are very good receivers. Like you allow divine timing to do its work. You don't really go by time, you go by moments. Like time has limits. The time that we made today has limits, but you don't look for that time limit. You look for the right moment. Because even so, for example, like if you wanted to go on a walk to the bookstore and you were like, I want to go on a walk on Tuesday at 2 p.m. but it starts raining, then it's not the right time to go to the bookstore because it's raining. So you have to find the right moment, which might be Tuesday at 8 p.m., you know? And that's how you are. People might think you're like too, like, maybe they think you're, they might think that, what's the word for it? Too in the clouds, or maybe like too careless, maybe. People might think that way. But really, you just don't like to force things. You really don't. And it actually brings you stress to force things. And actually it gets people to understand the concept of divine timing more. People admire the way you go about things, like your calmness. I'm saying that people admire your calmness, and that it like somehow gets you to like get your wishes fulfilled when you bring that calmness and you receptivity. People admire that about you because not a lot of people are able to do that. And it brings in a lot of opportunities for new things. Like, people are always wondering, like, how did they get this thing? Or how did they end up meeting this person? Or how? Like, it's because you're open to opportunities and renewing. You are the essence of springtime. Like, of when the flowers start sprouting. And it's, like, potent, like, aroma in the air from the flowers, and like you just always blossoming into something new every time someone sees you. I'm getting that you're a breath of fresh air because you're so understandable and people really admire that about you. You're a breath of fresh air because you don't like to force things and you understand all people, so you are like a breath of fresh air to a lot of people. And you are very radiant and a bright light into people's lives. Like that saying, God's favorite. That's you. But you know, everybody's a favorite to someone. But anyways, you're also a very good communicator. Like I said, you have like a way of speaking that's very, either it be funny or either it be passionate or inspiring. Like, you have an effortless way of speaking and writing, and you're a very good communicator. You have very multifaceted groups of friends from different like groups, you know. You can talk to different people, and people around you really admire that a lot because it allows them to also be in touch with different types of people that they never thought they would be part of before. And I don't think you really understand the effect you have on people's lives when it comes to that. But they admire that you're so effortless, and it rubs off on them. Like, you're like, see, you can be like this too if you just enjoy life and what it brings. Life is like a playground for you. You're also very cultured. I'm seeing it, this group, very cultured people. Because you're so good at speaking into different types of group of people, you're very receptive to what that culture brings to you and very accepting. You're just very understandable. Or you are very understanding. But yeah, let's read the description to this card. The Queen. Page 83, the Queen. The Empress, the Mother Queen, the Sovereign. Like her counterpart, the King, the Queen has a dualistic nature. Either she presides over the realm with grace and eloquence that comes from the heavens to uplift the spirit of others, or she falls into petty, contemptuous moods, casting a shadow across the land. If the king is the ego, the queen is the expression of that ego in the world. She is the lotus bloom, the dancer's bow, the moon's radiant reflection. When the queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and Goddess to move through her, striking and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, to embody the queen, is to settle into deep trust, resolve, and power. The royal queen fears nothing, for divinity itself cradles her heart. Wow. Yeah, you are the embodied embodiment of grace, and you have this power that comes from what you've been through and how you learn to protect yourself. And you're just graceful, and you're kind of like a reflection of like the universe. You allow yourself to be that way. A lot of you, anyone can be that way, but you reflect that energy. Very magical people in this group number 2. Very magical people. But yeah, that's what I got for you, group number 2. Thank you for coming to my reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. So group number 3, you chose the Wild Unknown deck. I love this deck because it has so many animals in it, and it's such like good quality cards. I really want the Animal Spirit deck by the same author. But yeah, anyways, let's get started with your reading. What do people admire about you that you don't see in yourself? For group number 3, what do people admire about them that they don't really see in themselves? What do people admire about them that they don't really see in themselves? Two more cards, please. What don't they see in themselves that people admire? What don't they see about themselves? Son of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 7 of Wands, Ace of Cups, and the Magician. You are all very unique people. You embody all elements. Even though we don't have more swords here, we have a sword here, and you embody all elements. I'm seeing androgynous type of people, maybe non-binary people, but you're very unique. You have 2 aces here. You guys might have a lot of relationships with people. I'm seeing polyamorous people, or people in open relationships, but besides that, I'm seeing that you're really into starting new projects. Like you might be like an artist. People admire your mind and how it works when it comes to your craft. I'm seeing some very avant-garde artists here. Very focused, very academic. You might be very good in what you do. Son of Pentacles. See? Very focused people. Very focused. People admire that about you, that you're very focused and serious about your craft. You like don't play around. Very much go-getters. I'm seeing that something you're doing is going to change someone's life or your own life. This grand idea that you have, or it might be coming. You don't really like for the light to be shined on you. I'm seeing this, like kind of with this imagery, like they're looking away. They don't really like the shine to be on you, but it just is because you have a lot of things to like for people to see. Like, I'm seeing that you might be making a lot of things for people to like admire and see. And people are like, who made this? Like, who created this? And it's you, but you don't want to be seen. People admire your humility. You're very humble. Side note, you don't have to be humble, but you are very humble. But it's not like you're humble just because you feel like you have to. You're humble because that's just who you are. Maybe you were outcasted when you were younger in some kind of way, and it made you into a more reserved person. But people actually admire that about you, that you're very reserved and very humble and not very boastful about the things that you do and create. Like, you're actually, people might think that you're kind of cold, but really you're just very sensitive. And the people who get to know you very much admire that about you. And they kind of see you as like a very graceful, like soft, humble person. And they like care about you a lot. I'm seeing that person you love or the people you love care about you a lot. And they see who you really are. They do. People admire that you choose to be seen through your art and the things that you put out into the world. People admire that you hold a lot of knowledge and are not afraid to give that out into the world. And people admire that you're very much not a narcissistic artist. You can be a little self-indulgent, but that is because you want to pull something out of yourself to give out to other people. People admire that there's a lot to unfold about you. There's a lot to unfold. And there's some passion that people never knew you had. There is emotion that people never knew you have. The people who admire things about you, who truly know these that align with who you think you are close people to you. And I'm seeing that people who are highly like intuitive and like observant can see those things about you too and want to get to know you more. But you're seen regardless. Like, even if you might not really want to be seen, you're seen. You're seen, not in a bad way anymore. I'm seeing in a good way, because I'm seeing that when you're younger you were outcasted in some way, but now people are very much seeing the flower that you are and the healer that you can be. You heal people through what you choose to put out into the world. But yeah, you're a magician. You're like a master of all trades that you put yourself into. It's not like you're into different types of things, like too many things. You're into like the things you're into, and you're very much good at it. And you're not boastful. You're a little bit reserved, a little shy, but not in a way where it's like you feel awkward talking to people. It's more like, why can't the things that I create just like be seen instead of me? But it's too bad, because people want to know you. People want to know you, group number 3. You gotta let them know you. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but it will make you feel good to be seen for the brilliant person you are. People admire that you're absolutely brilliant. You're very brilliant people. Comment below if you're an artist and plug it in the comments so I can see it. Or a musician. Sorry, musician. Or a writer, or whatever craft that you take. But let's look at your oracle cards. The crone. There's a theme here with all black wildflowers. Okay, dark beauty. People admire. We got some goths in here. Yep. Oh yeah. Yes, there's some gothy people in here. People admire your dark fashion and your dark sense of design and style. Like it somehow mixes with like the light very well. You have a dichotomy between, I hope I'm using that word right, and I can't believe I said dichotomy, but there's like a difference between the light and the dark for you when it comes to your work. Like you're not afraid of the darkness in order to get to that lightness. You might be afraid of the lightness a little bit, but it's something that you speak about a lot in your work. You're extremely intelligent. People admire that you're extremely intelligent. Some people don't understand you though, because I am seeing that you were outcasted as a kid. Some people do not understand you. But honestly, between me and you, people who don't understand you and like to talk about you in bad ways, it's because they have bad taste. And I know there's no difference between good and bad, but honestly, like if you don't like someone just because you don't understand the way they are, that's bad taste. That's like not critical thinking, you know? But yeah, people admire like that you come off really regal, and that can be very sexy. Like you come off like a very regal person. Like you don't really come off shy. You come off as like this tiger or leopard right here. Like very beautiful and tall and regal, and some of you might have really beautiful necks, I'm seeing here. People respect you. People very much respect you. Not only do they admire the brilliance that you are, they respect you a lot. And your lovers, they love how romantic you are. They love how you show your affection. Very beautifully dark. I'm hearing that you show people more to life than the thing they first see when they look at something. Like it's deeper. You show people a deeper meaning to life and the hidden things. Like you see this crow, but you first saw this crow, but you didn't see that the crow was holding this. I don't know what it is, guys. Tell me what that is, but there's a deeper meaning. And I didn't even see that the crow's fur is kind of morphing into this hand here. Didn't see that. That's your essence. People admire that about you. I'm seeing that you're very beautiful, like very aesthetically beautiful. Like you do hold your aesthetic very well if you have one, but very, very beautiful. And I'm hearing like in the past, there might have been people who tried to put you down but you held your integrity, like. And I'm hearing that people gossiped because you're cool, not because you're weird. It might have been because they thought you were weird, but that's just because you're cool. You're actually cool. Like the real version of cool. Like you are very cool. You're cool because of how you think and what you make with how you think and how you how you're like willing to provide that to the outside world. It's cool. And I want you to know that your friends love you. And that if you haven't already, you're going to find your group of weirdos that people think are weird, like whatever. You're in your own lane. You've grown to be completely yourself without shame. No shame. The highest peak of you would be shameless. And I'm seeing that that's what people admire about you, that you are shameless. You're cool, people. Group number 3. But yeah, let's read the description to this card. Let's see. The crone, the witch, the old woman, the sage. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation of the feminine trifecta of the maiden mother crone. In her long life, she witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right and wrong, as she has seen the earth's churning, smoldering, taking life and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering within, with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power of unconventional relationship with death and the macrambre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. Wise people you are, group number 3. Very wise. Much more than what meets the eye. Just like group number 1, you don't really care about what people think is right and wrong, what's good and bad, what's normal and what's weird. It's a little different than group number 2, but yeah, you see more than what meets the eye. And people really admire that. These are my goth babes here. All this black and beautiful grays and black and dark blues. I love it. Even got the blue squishy. Yeah. So that is what I got for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for coming to my reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi everyone. This is the bonus collective reading. Give me a second to shuffle all these. It's not going to be on anything specific. It's just going to be collective reading. And whatever comes up, you know? Collective. I hope you guys had a good Halloween. Let me know what you did or what you dressed up as. I love hearing about that. Let me know in the comments. And also let me know in the comments what kind of readings you like to see, or like what's your favorite readings that I do, and I can keep posting them. Collective. Also, let me know what kind of spiritual tools you'd like me to use in the future. I know there's tea readings. I do my lavender readings. I do channeled messages sometimes. I did do like channeled doodles once, which was fun. Collective. All right, for the collective, let's look at it. Ace of Water. The Fool. 2 of Pentacles. So this came out in reverse, so I'm going to leave it in reverse because it makes sense with this reading. I'm seeing a collective, like, either a emptiness feeling that people have been going through, or a, I don't really pay attention all the time to, like, what the planets are doing, but I'm seeing, like, a lack of, emotion, or a lack of like emotional passion I'm seeing from the collective. And it's making people want to jump ship into something new. But also, they're getting held back by the practicality on it. And I'm not saying jumping into something new will renew your passion and your love of life again, but I'm saying that these risk-taking things always are born from this like state of mind, the stuck state of mind, like this is what this is, emotional dissatisfaction with your life. And you wanted to go into something new, but then you're getting held back by the options. I'm seeing that. Let's get like a oracle card on how to go about this. So I'll be using this. We're gonna see, because I am seeing a lot of like collective emotional dissatisfaction and wanting to get out of a situation and get into a new situation, but fear is taking over. I'm seeing that. Or the practicality of going into a new situation isn't the orphan. Okay? So if you just came from pile number 3, this might really connect to you. I'm going to read the description behind this card. This is supposed to be a short bonus reading, but whatever. Almost done anyway. Okay, the orphan. 71. The orphan. The wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. Yeah. We are ever more connected, yes, yet face collective isolation. The refuge crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents and Earth begs for our attention. We are in the time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share the core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. Wow. Wow, guys. Yeah, I'm feeling this too. We're having some like isolation feelings and some feelings of like loneliness or being lost. And what I will say, I am getting a message that if you feel like going on a new path or taking a risk is going to make you feel like a sense of like being alive, then you should do it. Do it. I'm seeing do it. And I'm also saying that it doesn't matter the practicalities of it. It's all going to work out. And you have a lot more options than you know. And I'm also seeing that. I'm also seeing a message that you're actually not all alone in this. Like you don't actually have to do this thing alone. I'm also seeing that with the collective. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for the collective. And I hope that helped you. Let me know in the comments if it did. And I'll start doing these in my readings more often if you'd like. And yeah, that is what I have for the collective right now. And thank you for coming. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.